Save $3 on juicy red ripe strawberries, $4.99 for a 1-pound package. Save $1 on fresh Portuguese rolls, $4.99 for a package of 6. A sweet treat, Magnum ice cream bars, $5.39 for a 3-pack. 20% off all varieties and sizes of Rachel Ray's pet food. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, May the 7th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Former Premier Dr. Ewart Brown adamant he will not accept the decision to have Attorney General Mark Pettingill and Victoria Greening taken off his defense team. In his ongoing legal matter, a judge recently ruled that the two attorneys who operate out of Chancery Law Chambers were conflicted in that they had inside information about the case given their previous roles. Mr. Pettingill, a former Attorney General, and Ms. Greening, a former prosecutor for the Crown. Dr. Brown spoke with Gary Moreno by phone from the U.S. about this latest development in this ongoing saga.
It's a shame. It's a shame. The Chancery law firm has been involved with this case for 2 years, and there was never any question about conflict. And it was only after Greening and Pettingill raised the issue of the integrity of the police that suddenly they were said to be in conflict. But you know, we're celebrating next month the 8th year of this investigation, and so it takes different turns and twists, but we're in it for the long run, and we're going to win.
As you rightly mentioned, this is the 8th year going on to this. Why do you think that this investigation has been so prolonged? It's almost a decade now.
I have no clue. I have a lot of thoughts and suspicions about it, but it's someone told me from the FCO that this is the longest investigation that they've ever seen of a former premier or prime minister. I don't know what it is. I know some people say it's the Wiggers, and it's my punishment for not seeking permission with the Wiggers. Others have other ideas. Whatever it is, I have to fight it, and that's what I'm doing.
It could be argued that the judge was right when he indicated that Mr. Pettingill and Ms. Greening, based on their previous positions, would be conflicted.
They have told the judge, they've told the court, that they do not have any inside information, no more than other lawyers in Bermuda, no more than people who have become judges after they were in other positions, when they knew about the cases in the other positions. And so, no, he had no inside information, and she was not aware of any inside information, and told the court as much, an affidavit to that effect. We're going to appeal it as much as we can, and we are beginning to believe that the objective is not to determine whether I have done something incorrect, because they've changed course so many times. First it was political corruption, now it's MRIs and CT scans, and the only thing in common in those two is me. So I have to assume, without becoming paranoid, that it's me that they're after, and I have to try to defeat them.
Think you're being persecuted?
Yes, in a sense. It's just payback for me being who I am, and for having had the agenda that I have, and for resisting racism in my country.
In other news, the cost of health insurance back in the news tonight. The opposition shadow finance minister Nick Kemp wants to know why the government has not lowered the standard premium rate despite reducing the cost to administer it by some 20%. The standard premium rate is a premium for the basic set of services required to be part of your health insurance policy. The health minister, Kim Wilson, got into a public quarrel with insurer BF&M recently over the company's decision to raise premiums over proposed government healthcare changes, although government said this claim was inaccurate. According to Senator Kemp, the minister has no basis to accuse the insurer of attempting to boost its corporate profits.
This change goes effective on June 1st, but we have yet to even see draft legislation. So it's a fairly fundamental way, change to the way that your standard health benefit is managed. And I think it's important to look at the statement by Minister Wilson, where she essentially alleges that 20% of the standard hospital benefit collected by the insurance companies and managed by the insurance companies is effectively lost on profit and admin. So the fact that now almost all of this money is being collected by the insurance companies and is being sent straight to government, and there's no claims being managed by the insurance companies anymore. In fact, there's going to be no claims managed at all on this stuff from the information that's been put out there. Would lead to reason that this 20% wastage, I guess, in the minister's opinion, on profit and admin is going to go away. By this mechanism that they're putting in, this 20% is no longer going to get lost, and we'll have more money to spend on health. Now, the benefits that people paying this standard hospital benefit are paying, or the benefits that they're receiving, isn't going up. So if we're saving this 20%, why isn't the standard premium rate going down? Why aren't working Bermudians who are contributing this money not seeing the benefit of all these alleged efficiencies?
And Senator Kemp fears jobs at the hospital and at the insurance companies could be affected as a result of the government change.
What this change is doing is it's effectively doing away with that admin process. So now the hospital will get a block of money, and when you use the hospital, basically it's validated that you're insured somehow, and you get the service, but no bills issued to an insurance company, and knowing that the insurance company needs to administer that claim. So from an efficiency standpoint, I guess there will be a lot of admin people at insurance companies that used to administer these claims that will no longer be needed, and they'll probably be made redundant. And I'm assuming that the counterpart is that there's admin people at the hospital that issue these bills whose services are no longer going to be needed. Now, the minister also claimed that there's $20 million in savings due to efficiencies because of this measure. None of those efficiencies were spelled out, and I'm very curious where that $20 million in efficiency is coming from, because I don't believe there's $20 million worth of admin people at the hospital sending bills to the insurance companies. So I think we need a more wholesome discussion. We need some more facts laid on the table.
Coming up, the latest weather news and more. We'll be right back.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace food court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carvings.
And don't forget the special dishes from the island.
It don't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Dr. Cato found out that I have a tumor in my liver, and he told me that I have to go through a surgery. People near 80, they don't want to go through this kind of operation. It's a small operation. Somebody suggests just take medicine or chemotherapy or even radiation treatment. But Dr. Cato said that if I didn't go through surgery, maybe I cannot live more than 1 year. And after 5 years, Dr. Cato said I'm cancer-free. So I said that I can live longer. So I quit my job to try to enjoy my life.
Welcome back. Code 441 and Hamilton Insurance Group have expanded their partnership with the addition of 2 mini hackathons for students. The first mini hackathon will take place Saturday, May 25th at Wellesley House North on Pitts Bay Road to give students aged between 12 and 17 the chance to develop their coding and technology skills. Coders will design, brainstorm, and develop apps around 2 themes, transportation and school. Jade Eve of Code 441 says the event is growing in popularity.
What we found were students were really enjoying the collaboration and idea generation. So with the 2 new hackathons that we're doing this year in partnership with Hamilton Reed, we are focusing on that aspect of it. And that was the focus because we found that in this area of learning, the kids excel the quickest, especially if they're excited to build something new. I would say there were probably 10 pitches of apps, and maybe like 3 or 4 were transportation-based. And it seems like a sincere struggle point for a lot of students, maybe bus scheduling or having to carry a lanyard with their ID. They have a lot of pain points around how they get around Bermuda, and that's clearly exposed in why they want to do transportation apps. So my idea was to bring that to the 2 mini hackathons, as it seems to be what their problem focus is anyway. I have a few students now that are away abroad studying computer science and intending to. Actually, there's 2 students from the cohort that are graduating in about 2 years' time, and they're looking at computer science schools in the U.S. and the U.K. It definitely seems like there's a stronger interest now in computer science and computer science-related studies. So this hackathon, students would probably have a basic coding skills, whether that they've taken a course at school or done some coding at home or even come to a previous code for a hackathon. So there should be a base level of knowledge about programming fundamentals, but they don't need to be an expert or anything. We will have myself and a few volunteers to assist as well.
Spaces are limited to 25 kids per event, so students are encouraged to sign up as soon as possible. To register, go online to www.code441.com. Turning to weather news, looks like we have a mostly sunny week to look forward to. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and for the next couple of days, things are looking pretty nice here. We do have the chance of a couple of showers tomorrow, but it's not going to be anything like what we had last night, where we picked up just under 1/2 inch of rain. Here's the frontal boundary that went through the area. You can see it's now to our south and east. What essentially is going to be happening as we head into tomorrow, which will give us a chance of a few spotty showers, is a weak front to our north, and that'll be slipping down into our area. You can see on the radar, at least at this point this evening, the steadiest of the precipitation is well off to our south and east, and feels pretty nice outside. Temperatures are in the low 70s right now, humidity between 60 and 70%. We do have the winds coming in out of the northwest, anywhere from 14 to 18 knots, and you can see the water temperature currently 76 degrees. It's still a little bit choppy out there on the water, especially as you head outside of the reef, where we're seeing waves anywhere between 5 and 8 feet. So because of that, and because of the choppy conditions, we do have a small craft warning out there. Usually I like to put that information right up there for you. So through Wednesday afternoon, a small craft warning is in place, so make sure you are exercising caution. Looking at some of our tidal times here, we have our low tide coming in tomorrow morning at 5:55 in the morning. And tomorrow you will be dodging a couple of showers. Not so much for tonight, though. We'll call it partly cloudy here. 66 degrees for our overnight low. And then tomorrow, again, a couple of showers in spots. It's not going to be an all-day rain event, so you can still get outside and get done what you need to get done on your Wednesday. A high of 75 degrees, so very nice and pleasant temperature-wise. But again, we will have a couple of showers out there. As we take a look at our futurecast here, heading into the next couple of days, and just giving you an idea of how weak this frontal boundary is, we can play things out, and you really don't see much in the way of precipitation moving into the area. We'll start to have high pressure building back into the region, and that we associate with nice weather here on the island. So if you're here for vacation, once we get through Wednesday, things are looking pretty nice. We'll get to that extended forecast in just a moment here. Looking at some of the conditions here in the Caribbean, you can see it's a little bit unsettled into Jamaica, showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s there. Barbados, a couple of showers for them, and in Trinidad, it's toasty outside. Temperatures right around 90 degrees. Not quite that hot as we look at the forecast here in a few other destinations. Toronto tomorrow 52 with clouds and sunshine. New York City and Boston will be in the 60s, low 80s into Atlanta. And it looks pretty stormy into areas like Miami and also London. Here's a look at the extended forecast. As I mentioned, into tomorrow, few spotty showers, not an all-day rain event. And then high pressure builds in, and it looks pretty nice. Over the next 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, remaining dry. Temperatures in the mid-70s on Thursday. We take a slight dip into Friday, but still a mostly sunny day. And so far, the weekend is looking nice and pleasant.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Michaela, and this is Taking Off. Earlier this year, we announced the kite design competition for the best Bermudian designs. After receiving an astounding 155 entries, we've chosen our winners. But before we get to that part, let's talk about what the designs are for. In the new terminal, there will be a kite installation suspended from the ceiling. The winning designs will be incorporated into actual kites, adding a Bermudian sense of place to the building. There are 3 shapes: hexagon, octagon, and decagon, and a variety of these shapes were chosen. And now for our winners. For the 12 and under category, the judges selected 3 winners: Lily Motor Powell, Mikhail Willis, and Kiara Wales. For the 13 to 18 category, the judges were impressed by Priel Minor's 2 entries and selected both as winners. And finally, in the adult category, the winners include Brian Lightbourne, Matthew Tombridge, Abigail Kemp, Stephen Harvey, and Jordan Avery. Each winner was presented with a check for $250 and will see their design hanging in the new airport terminal when it opens. Congratulations to all the winners. See you next time.
And you are watching the Tuesday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Well, former Rikers Island inmate, 2 artist, and now Dejavon painter, wants to use his life story to inspire other young men to avoid the pitfalls of drugs and prison. He sat down with us to share his story and what the hope that will make a difference and help others avoid going down the wrong path. Maya Palacio has a story.
A friendly, familiar face often behind the bar at Docksiders. 32-year-old Dejavon Painter is also a runway model, but little do many people know he wasn't always so charming. Growing up at arm's length away from the drug world, it became his reality. And at age 21, his dreams of a good life suddenly ended.
I was coming through the airport. I was walking through the little taxiway. I was looking inside of the airplane when the 2 officers pulled me to the side and was like, "Hey, what's in the bag?" I was like, damn it, this is it. My run's over. I knew life was about to change drastically from this point forward.
He was sentenced with 2 years for attempting to smuggle drugs to the island and was incarcerated at the infamous Rikers Island.
They treat you like an animal. Like, they talk to you like you're worthless. Like, it's hard, man. And like stripping someone out and then like they strip you out and point at you and laugh and just like stuff like that, like squat, spread them, do it again. And it's like, I'm not your puppy, like, you know, I'm not your dog, I'm a human, you know, but when you're in the system, you're a number.
Painter says talking to his mother over the phone was the hardest part.
That first phone call is hard, man. And yeah, the most emotional, like I said, I've ever been in my entire life. I was trying to hold back all of my emotions. I was mad at myself. I was mad at the people for helping me get in this situation. I was sad at the fact that me and my mom didn't really have a great relationship, but it's still my mom, and I'm gonna let her down what I feel like is again. And that didn't feel good at all. I feel like I let everyone down.
Painter spent 3 years of supervised release after completing his sentence, only to be told he must wait 10 years before applying for a waiver to travel to and from Bermuda. His ability to travel freely is now subjected to an interviewing process. For Painter, it's been a long and frustrating journey, and while he continues to deal with the repercussions of his actions, he urges young men in Bermuda to choose better for themselves.
There is always a better decision. There's always a better decision. If you're hanging out with guys that are just smoking weed, drinking all day, sitting around, or not really going forward in life right now, I mean, you're young. If you're young, you have your time. You go through it, have fun, live your life. But eventually, you need to, wake up.
Now, art is the center of his life. But more importantly, he lives his life reminding people that no matter the situation, you're going to overcome it.
Like, just living life like an average person you see walking down the street that, seems to have all their life together. They might not, and you might not know it. So, not every smile is happy, not every tear is sad. You can't really judge people off of what you see. Coming from prison, a lot of people might think, oh, you might get back into gangbanging and then selling drugs. That doesn't have to be. You don't have to come out of prison and go right back down the same path. There's always a second chance. Just take it and do the right thing.
If Painter's waiver application is successful, he looks forward most to meeting his young nieces. I'm Maya Palacio reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Earl Basin has the very latest in sports after the break. Stay with us.
Save $1 on fresh ground hamburger, only $2.99 a pound. Imported broccoli crowns, just $2.99 per pound. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze Milk, $5.99 for select varieties of 64-ounce cartons. Save $2.16 on Schmidt Old Time Honey Wheat or Split Top Sliced Bread, $3.99 for a 20-ounce loaf. Arm & Hammer Laundry Detergent, $5.99 for select varieties of 50-ounce bottles. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My style says what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.bm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
Turning to sports now, sailing underway in the Hamilton Harbor and Schroeder Spring Long Course Championships age group champions are named. Earl Basin has tonight's sports report.
The first 4 flights of the Argo Group Gold Cup in its 69th year are in the books. Australian Thomas Mertzke is out to the early lead. Mertzke has won all 3 of his matches to post a 3-0 record, followed closely by Eric Monin and Ian Williams, who are both 2-0. The forecast conditions for 15 to 20 knots never materialized this morning because the overnight frontal system moved through quicker than expected. A northerly breeze of 8 to 10 knots was blowing across Hamilton Harbor and making it 4 quick races. After 3 races this morning, Bermuda's Kelsey Dorham, along with his crew Stephen Dickinson, Campbell Duffy, and Heath Fogo, remained winless, falling to veteran Johnny Bertson of Sweden, Maxime Mesnil from France, and Pauline Couturos from France. After bringing you coverage of the Schroeder's Spring Long Course Championships that took place at the National Sports Center over 4 days, today we bring you the winners of each age group. Brian Desmond won the 15 and over men's division with a total of 3,563 points, while Logan Watson-Brown won the 15 and over women's division with 4,004 points. Finn Mosley was crowned the 13 to 14 men's division champion with 3,359 points, while Maisha Sharif won the 13 to 14 women's division with 3,541 points. The 10 and under women's division was won by Brooke Castry, who amassed a total of 1,997 points, while Luke Horan won the 10 and under men's division with 1,157 points. The 11 to 12 women's division was won by Imogen Judd, who gained 3,527 points, while Giallo Lagori won the 11 to 12 men's division with 2,633 points. A half-century from Dowray Rollins was not enough to help Sussex Seconds defeat Somerset Seconds in their second 11 trophy South Group match at the Blackstone Academy ground. Batting first, Sussex Seconds were bowled out for 280. Tom Haynes was their top scorer with 110, while Rollins added 51 off of 60 deliveries, hitting 5 fours and 1 6. Rollins and Haynes shared an 89-run, 4th wicket partnership. In reply, Somerset would score 281 for 7. Sam Davies was their top scorer with 55. Rollins did not bowl, but he did hold on to a catch to dismiss former England captain Marcus Trescothick. Noah Brown took to the courts to compete in the $11,000 men's Hyder Trophy squash tournament in New York. Brown would take on Asfara Azan from Malaysia in his first-round match. Brown would advance to the second round after defeating Azan in straight games, 12-10, 11-9, 13-11 in a 38-minute battle. Shaquille Dill, Robert Edwards, and their St. Augustine University teammates continued their CIAA Men's Outdoor Championship dominance, picking up their 22nd straight conference crown. Dill would run to victory in the men's 800-meter run, stopping the clock in the time of 1:53.04. Edwards competed in the men's 5,000-meter race, finishing sixth. He clocked a time of 16:59.76. The St. Augustine 4x400-meter unit that saw Dill run the second leg clocked a winning time of 3:14.15. Jillian Teixeira and Tyler Lopes began competing in the CSI Valkenswaard International Horse Jumping event in the Netherlands, competing in the 1.35 meter in two phases special and second phase against the clock class. Teixeira and Escalada recorded a clear first phase before clocking a second phase time of 57.78, but they had 16 penalty fault points to finish in 65th. Teixeira and Iluna Di Cantero took to the second arena for the 1.35 meter in two phases special and the second phase against the clock class, finishing third. They clocked a clear first phase, and then they would clock a clear second phase time of 37.71. Both Teixeira and Lopes competed in the 1.20 meter in two phases special, with the second phase against the clock class. Finishing in the 48th position was Teixeira and Maya Volo Vidi Muldendrief. They clocked a clear first phase and then clocked a second phase time of 37 seconds flat, but they had 4 penalty fault points. Lopes riding Hamlet Di Cantero finished 52nd. They clocked a clear first phase before clocking a second phase time of 39.61, but they had 4 penalty fault points. A total of 192 points were scored in the latest round of the Bermuda Basketball League, which took place inside the Bermuda College Gymnasium. Gershon Kirk led the Pembroke Skyforce to victory with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 block shots, while Showden Badahasingh scored 8 points for the Smith Court Kings. He also had 1 rebound. Game 2 saw the Warwick Rimrockers edge the Hamilton Parish Rockets 56-55. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Last year was a really fun race. It was the first time I had put in a really good training effort leading up to it. So yeah, it was good. Coming second, hopefully, the goal would be to win it. That would be definitely a bucket list item for me. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I ran a lot last year with Lamont Marshall. This year I've been training. I haven't been putting in as many miles as I had last year. Just been really busy with work and personal things as well. So haven't had the kind of full steam ahead as I was last year. But yeah, it's all about, for me at least, is kind of new to really the running scene, is learning from other athletes. Been also getting some good advice from Ashley Cooper. I've actually ran both twice. And I think they're kind of the same. I know Lamont thinks that the Somerset route might be a little more challenging. I think they both have individual challenges, so but they net out to be the same, I think, in my looks.
And that's our newscast on this Tuesday evening. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Good night.